Thank you. We're ready to start the meeting. Kathy Inman is our first speaker.
Are we all ready? Can you hear me? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for listening today. My name is Kathy Inman. I am a resident of Gilbert, and I've been in the Phoenix area for over 20 years. We came a couple weeks ago to ask the City Council to consider decriminalizing marijuana within city limits for the health and safety of the Phoenicians, because we understand that it's very much safer than alcohol or pharmaceuticals. I was lucky enough last week, instead of bringing more good news from Colorado and from Chicago, where they've decriminalized within the city limits, I wanted to address Council Member DeCiccio, because I was the woman who actually spoke for him down at the state capitol last week. And I understand that he's very much in favor of medical marijuana for our veterans. Since he's not here, I will ask you folks to consider the fact that a veteran could be arrested for possession and have to go through all the things that folks have to go through when they are arrested, all those costs and fees. And what if he's a fellow who can't necessarily afford the $300 it costs to get a medical marijuana card? So with Councilmember DeCiccio not here, I hope that you will convey that to him, and I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. John Moreno.
Yeah, thank you for having me here today. My name is John Moreno, and I'm with Pendergast School District in the West Valley. And I just wanted to, our superintendent asked me to stop by and drop off some of our budget information and our flyers for the council, and just thank you guys for your continued support in education. So thank you very much.
Nicholas Rupert.
Yeah, thank you.
I developed an aneurysm when I was 12 or 14, and when I was 21, the aneurysm burst, it ruptured, and gave me a bunch of symptoms. The doctors gave me Klonopin to help with the symptoms because my muscles were spasms, and I was on that for 1 milligram in the morning, 1 milligram in the evening for 9.5 years, and I was able to get off of that. It was like the strongest medication, very addictive. I know tons of patients who were on it who would much be better served with cannabis. They helped me get off that drug, and without, like, people who've got out before, they committed suicide but Arizona is ranked number 6 in the nation for addiction to prescription drugs. So I think we need to think about legalizing cannabis within the city limits, because it's going to be on the ballot in 2016, but it could be sooner for Phoenix. We need to set the precedent now. We need to take control, be the people of knowledge, We need to show the country that we are, good people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael Corlins. Cornelius. Can't read the.
That's okay. You can put your glasses on, that'll help. Members of the council who are present, thank you for taking the time to listen to the public today, those of you who are here. I come before you today to raise an issue that has been raised again and again and again and again over the course of many years. It's not going to stop. It's just going to get worse. The City of Phoenix Public Transit Department just released a new request for proposals to put the system out for bid for the north and south transit facilities currently managed by Veolia. So before I get too deep into it, I think it's important to point out that in spite of any issues between the union and Veolia, this isn't about Veolia transportation. This is about the workers being victimized by an RFP that the city put out. In the RFP, we've already, by the way, exchanged communications, our international office and your attorney's office. I don't know that you know that or not, but we've exchanged letters. We are entering into a questionable period of time regarding our 13C agreement, which, as you may or may not know, protects the working conditions of transit employees and also authorizes the FTA dollars that come in to serve the community. When you lose that money, it's about 18% of the funding source. It's a dangerous ground that you step on when you start playing with these 13C protections of transit employees. One of the issues that we have is under the RFP, under section 2.29.1, it does not place a requirement on any contractor to, I'm sorry, I'll wait till you're paying attention because it's important to me and it's important to our members, I'm sure.
I am paying attention, but I also have to run the meeting, so thank you.
So just to, I'm not going to take too much more of your time, but under 2.29.1, the RFP says that the contractor does not have to hire the existing staff. And as a matter of fact, it allows for disqualifiers in there. The part of our 13C agreement says that existing employees of the current contractor will transition employment without examination. The RFP that you released places a requirement to examine existing employees, thereby being a 13C violation. There are also issues in here that would violate our current collective bargaining agreement, whereby an employee is currently working for Veolia. Veolia does not mistreat that employee because they follow the collective bargaining agreement. Now you've released a RFP that would allow them to say, you no longer qualified. And the reason that they would do that, not being Veolia specific, any of these foreign multinationals that you contract with, they would say that it saves us money, increases our profit to get rid of these top wage earners who've been putting years of service into the system, safe years, and replace them with people who don't know how to drive a bus. And that's not right. So, you know, what I'm here to do today is to remind you that the process is starting now. The labor agreement expires July 1. New contractor takes over July 1. Strike is likely to happen on July 1. If all of our workers are not hired or transitioned pursuant to our 13C agreement, the city of Phoenix will not have an operational transit system. It's just that simple. So it's important that everybody be placed on alert that this is a real issue. Now, we tried this the last time, and you guys worked with us when you tried to split the north and south garages up. You decided that that wasn't the best thing for the community, and you went the other direction. We appreciated that move. Then there was some shenanigans, we think, that happened at the highest level of the city at the time, and it resulted in a strike. We're trying to avoid that now, and the best way to avoid it is to guarantee continuity of employment for all existing workers. Veolia has already told us that they will not have to reapply for their jobs, but they didn't say that they're guaranteeing they're going to have a job to apply for. So what we're looking for is that you change the RFP, you place a requirement in the RFP that all of the existing workers pursuant to our 13C agreement will transition to whoever the contractor is without examination. It's just that simple. We don't care if it's Veolia, we don't care if it's First Transit or McDonald or National Express or any of the corporations. Our preference would be that you take us public. So the taxpayers will know that 100% of their money goes to the service. None of it will go to for-profit multinationals who are benefiting financially off of a public service. And that's, I think I made my point clear.
Mayor, just a quick question. Can I have legal later on go to my office and kind of explain that whole RFP and the concerns that he had? All right, thank you.
Leonard Clark, you're next.
Oh, wait.
Thank you, council members, for letting me speak. My name is Leonard Clark. I just want to thank you. You guys, I believe, are conscientiously doing a great job. You're working hard in the city. But as you know, I'm the person who has to sometimes come here and say, well, I think we could do things a bit better. As you know, with the Eric Garner decision in New York City today, where they had an attorney, I guess, for this grand jury and this homicide, this killing of a young African-American man was done by some individuals and a man in a chokehold that was illegal with the police department. As you know, that they found no wrongdoing, even though the coroner said there was a homicide. I think it's about time that our mayor and all of you get together to protect our police and our citizens. And that would be to, either work with the state legislature. I believe the mayor has a way to do it. We're going to be filing petitions with you, even if I have to just gather them myself, signatures, by our citizens of Phoenix asking the mayor to appoint a special prosecutor or prosecutors when it comes to alleged felonies by officers of our police department to protect them in the interest of justice. Because when people lose faith in the justice system, when they feel that whatever, what have you, because they're poor, white, black, whatever, then that makes it a more dangerous situation for all the citizens of Phoenix. So special prosecutor would be very important. And also, even though the president has announced that he's going to push for so much money for the personal cameras for the police officers, I ask you to also, you and the mayor, make us the first city. Phoenix should be first. We should take the lead. The United States of America should take notice that the city of Phoenix is a well-run, efficient city, and you could show that even more by starting imposing some way to get these cameras. I know they're very expensive, but we live in a 21st century society, and we need to come up with a way to protect our officers and our civilians, so when they go out on a call, there is some type of video, and also a prosecutor, because no matter how honest, and I think we've got great prosecutors in the city of Phoenix, but the problem is, no matter how honest you are, if you're working with the same people like the police every day to put so-called bad guys in jail, then when it comes to an alleged felony by an officer shooting somebody or whatever it is, then it's hard to be unbiased as a prosecutor. So I'm asking, and I'm going to have a group of friends ask, that you please get the mayor to put together a way to appoint a special prosecutor, independent prosecutor, when it comes to alleged felonies such as murder, manslaughter, these types of things that might have been committed by our officers. And that's no slight on our officers. They put their lives on the line every day. I'm doing it for them and for our civilians, for the rest of us, because, like again, the system of justice has to be fair, and people must have their faith in it. Thank you.
Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson. Pat Vint. You can have 2 minutes now, or you can have 3 at the end of the meeting. Pat, which would you? Eric Johnson? Oh, Eric Johnson. Would you like 2 minutes now or 3 at the end of the meeting? I'll take 2 minutes now. Okay, come on up. But he's already got, let him go first. Well, we stop at 3 to start the regular meeting, so.
I tell you what, I'm going to get up here. You got me up here now out of my wheelchair. When are you going to learn? Do you ever learn anything? I don't think so. You don't know how to read, but I'll get off of that. You know, we come down here, and now we got a lot of people speaking. There's only 4 of you here, and I don't know if you care, but you're supposed to have a quorum. And you're going to have to change this. This is more important than all these liquor licenses combined. You either listen to the citizens or you don't have a city. What would a city be without citizens? And you treat us like we're the damn enemy. I've been going to the police officers here, see if I threatened them, would they shoot me? They said, well, I said, I want you to shoot me. That's what the whole problem is. You're hired to defend yourself, defend everybody, and if somebody attacks you, it's your job to kill them. And the little guy up here, he said, I'm just going to make you suffer. I'll shoot you in the places you'll suffer the rest of your life. Isn't that wonderful? But that's not going to protect him, because I could still get back at him with the high-powered rifle from a mile away. You're going to have to start doing something, because the city is out of control. It's bankrupt. You know it's bankrupt. Frank Fairbanks, David Cavazos, and now Ed Zerker's proven it beyond any doubt, because they don't control anything. And it's your job to read the city charter. It says that you got to go through the city manager. He doesn't do anything, so what the hell good does that do? You hired him, you fire him. Bring in an outsider that'll do the job. It's proven beyond a doubt that Frank Fairbanks and Davis Cavazos took advantage of what you give them. You give them raises up to over $300,000 a year. They quit. I thought you give them a raise to do a job, for doing a job. So you should have done something to stop that. And now you got to do something to stop Ed, or get him started. He's not doing anything. This is a disaster. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, with the indulgence of the rest of the members, it was actually your turn. So Pat stepped on your time, and I'm sorry about that, so we're going to not make you wait. Come on up, and you can have your 3 minutes now. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waring and City Council. I appreciate everything you've done for the city. I'm speaking on behalf of the Phoenix Cannabis Coalition and current of the Phoenix Cannabis Coalition, and I want to talk about the current news going on in our country. Okay, in September, I'm talking about the NASCAR incident. I'm going to say a couple quotes from USA Today. In September, Kevin Ward Jr. angrily gestured at Stewart's car as he walked down the banking of the speedway. Under caution during the August 9th race that took his life. He died of blunt force trauma from the impact of Tony Stewart's car. Toxicology reports revealed Kevin Ward Jr. was under the influence of marijuana the night that he was struck and killed. District Attorney Michael Tantillo said the level of marijuana in Ward's system was high enough to impair judgment. So they're saying basically Kevin Ward was high enough to get out of his car and got killed because Tony Stewart, in caution, at what, 25 miles per hour is driving and hit him, and he got off scot-free, and they're stating because of due to cannabis. Okay, that's one case. In August, a Texas grand jury has refused to indict Jacob Lavora after prosecutors sought to charge him with a felony count of making marijuana brownies. Texas court tried to give him 99 years for making marijuana brownies. Fast forward a couple months, he got 7 years probation. Okay, fast forward. Okay, I want to give a couple quotes. U.S. Representative Steve Cohen from Tennessee. People don't smoke marijuana and beat up their wives and girlfriends. I want to give you another quote from Stephen King. The biggest killer on this planet is stress. And I still think the best medicine always has been cannabis. Stephen King. Currently, right now, the Maricopa County's Attorney's Office is prosecuting. Please listen up, everybody. I apologize, please listen up. The Maricopa, and this affects your tourism, and I know tourism hopefully would be an issue today. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office is prosecuting a college student with a medical marijuana card for felony possession for less than a gram, 0.6 grams. This innocent college student with no prior offenses. Our county attorney is getting felony possession on him. Apologize. I'm not
Thank you.
saying
Please
his
finish
name.
your thought if you would.
He could end up with a felony on his record, probation, stiff fines because of a March discovery of 0.6 grams. And that was in the New Times October 23rd issue. This is not going to help out tourism if we're going to tell our foreign ASU students don't come here and you get in trouble and you get a felony for smoking a gram, especially when you're a medical marijuana patient. That's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. All right, we're going to go straight into the meeting. We're going to start